Hey everybody, this is going to be more of an artistic turn, but I thought it'd be neat since it's 3D and we have this skull with the sockets, and we know the lighting and the shading all works. Let's give it some eyeballs. Alright, so what I've done here is exactly that. I haven't colored them or anything yet, but I've taken two spheres, and are they a little deep? Are they inside of the skull? No, I don't think so. I don't want them touching the skull. I'd like them floating in the sockets. And it looks to me like they're floating in the sockets. Maybe I could bring them, let me try to go to the side view and see if maybe that will show me, are they touching? Yeah, they're a little deep right now, right? I didn't look at it from this direction, and that's not a problem. Let's make them a little further out on Y. Oh, I see. 0 on Y. And maybe bring them up a little more. Okay, that's a little bit more floating in the socket, I think. And let's make this 2 a little high. 1.85. I think that's perfect. I don't think they're touching the back of the skull anymore, no. And they're sort of floating in there. Now, what does it look like from the front? Well, that's the back. That's the back of the head, everybody. Alright. Looking pretty rad, right? I don't know why that's... There we go. Pretty rad. Now maybe I should just join the eyes to the skull. No, I want to color them separately. That's right. So then let's set the geometry origin to the middle of the eyes, okay? And now let's hide them and instantiate them and then color them. Or should we just, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. All right, great. So we have eyes, and let's hide everything now and bring our animation back. And everything's been moved up a little bit here. Let me just, bring this back into the center. We can maybe see the eyeballs appear, because we have to get them placed into that position. Okay, so let's go ahead and add some eyeballs. We're going to go up here, and we're going to instantiate eyes. And we want a pair of eyes for every skull. And we got to now add them to our for loop here as an object iterator. Object list, eyes, and then we plug that back in up here to give the eyes the option to now transform their output. Now we don't need to do their text, right? It's just going to be a straight transform of the eyes. So what I think I'm going to do is maybe, like up here I have just the transform. This is the cameras, I think, and this must be the skulls. So let's go ahead and put the eyeballs in right under the skulls here. And we just need the object and the location. So maybe we can do this from the location. And maybe we'll get lucky and they'll place the eyeballs right in the middle for us. Now, this might be a little tricky. This last one here, eyes, into that object. Alright, so we've got our eyeballs, they're just not in the right place. They're not high enough. So we need to go to our transform vector here. And maybe we should hide some things so we can see the eyeballs. Well, I guess they're there, and we need them up. So we need to bring them up on the Z. So let's add a math node. Math node here. Whoops. Didn't want that. Alright, so originally it was here, math node. So let's give it its own combined vector. Let's unattach that and give this its own combined vector. And now what's the parent is here for the X. And now, yeah, now we can transform our y and z. So let's do 40. It's way too high. 35, too low. 37.5. Getting close. 38. 38.5. It's going to be too much. 38.25. Getting pretty close. That's a little high still. Well, maybe not once we set them in. Here, well, if we can fine tune it. Let's push them into the head now and bring them down. Just floating in the eyeballs. What do we think? Looking good? Looking like a pair of eyeballs inside the head? Okay, so now let's apply our color scheme. And what I'm going to use, and hopefully this works, is not the text, but the value here to see if we can make these eyeballs glow and light up the head. So again, we just have to copy that one and paste it, and instead of objects advisory titles, it's going to be eyes. And that really should do it. No, that didn't do it. What doesn't that like? Line 17, 17, eyes. Oh, I know why. It's because I didn't give the eyes the materials. Okay. Ha. Silly John. That's okay. We're just going to get rid of our eyes. And we're going to comment that out for now. And we got to go into our eyes. And yeah, that's right. I missed the critical step here. Add a material. No, we're going to say, and we want just the scores. Score 5. Score 4. Score 3, and I need a default. Move that up. And we need 2. How come I don't have a score 2? There it is. I guess it's just as easy. Well, see, no, I don't want to make a new one. I want to change that to score 2. No, that's going to rename it. I don't want to do that. Why is this so hard? Plus, no, I don't want a new one. Huh. Plus, drop down, score 2, score 2. I am making it harder than it needs to be. Score 1, score 1. All right, now we can execute the node tree. There are eyeballs. And now in theory I should be able to uncomment that, run the Python, doesn't fail. And are our eyeballs red? Ha ha! There we go. How about red eyeballs based on the color scheme? And they fill the socket. Now they're a little strong maybe. Maybe we should make eyeballs, right? Copies of all of these. And make it a little less intense. Because that's at a 10. I don't know. I sort of like it from a distance. It's pretty sketchy looking, right? And right, all of our other eyes have changed though. I don't want that. That's funny that all the eyes have changed. I haven't added the No, see, they say they have the default material. Only eyes 1 has score 5. But they're definitely changed colors. Well, let's just go ahead and adjust the, do it for all of them. Eyes here. And I could also maybe I'll make the spheres smaller and not the intensity of the color. We'll do that after we add them to all of our different scores here. Just thinking in my head, I kind of like the intensity of the color. And maybe they're just a little too big inside of the sockets. And that's an easy fix, to just adjust the actual scale size of the object. Python is all finished more or less, and what we have are the nice eyeballs in the red and yellow and white and solid yellow. Now I got the plane on, so we got the metallic background, but I like the glowing eyeballs. It's totally a 3D effect, sitting in the sockets, floating in the sockets like that. And it looks pretty rad from head on. If we make this big and give it the screen space it deserves. You know, the metallic skull and the... now, I guess I should make the eyeballs metallic too and give them the chrome cover. That would be pretty neat. But I'm liking how this is coming along. We've got our score. We've got the vulnerability name. It's all reflecting on the walls and everything because we have the metallic overlays. Now I need more lights. That's one thing I'm really starting to pick up on, is I need a lot more lights, but it's really coming together nicely here. And so what I'm going to do next is let me just get rid of this plane for now. Hang on. So we have everything, you know, along the x-axis, and it's, if you'll notice, if we pick any of these objects, their rotation on the x-axis is 90 degrees, right? Meaning they're sitting vertically on this plane. Well, what I'm going to do next is use this vertical plane this way and put some information underneath it. So when we zoom past the skulls, we'll have more data. Right? Let's use the full three-dimensional plane. Right? So if I'm right above the skull and I zoom down past this, I can put some information down here under it. Now, it might not be high enough yet to achieve that, but I'd like to see if I can zoom down past the skull and get some text down here underneath of it. Right? Or even on the angle, if we're looking at it on a 45, like this, say, where we have this information this way, well, we can have our other information going along this green line. And we'll bring it up, you know, hover it above the ground just a little bit, but not much. So let's try to do that with some of our other information. So we have this plane facing in the skull, and we could also rotate above and look at it from above. All right, that's the next step.